everybody. This is the Club of the Man 1993 trying to get in one more WrestleMania review for the week since it is mentioned that I will be going out of town this weekend for a big gig. So probably after this video, you probably won't hear from me again until Monday when I review Hell in a Cell. Unless if I get time Sunday after work, I'll review Hell in a Cell from my hotel room. But we'll see what happens. And either way, this is definitely my last video I'm posting on my channel until then. So, we're going to continue on with my Retro WrestleMania review series as we now venture into WrestleMania 3. I watched it earlier this evening. And I gotta say, this show, after doing the research and also, watching it, experiencing it, it's definitely a little bit of an underrated show, I feel, because some people don't give it credit to the fact that wrestling-wise, it was kind of masked up. The wrestling is okay, but not really like, big stuff. But we did get some big moments in this WrestleMania. But what this WrestleMania meant to the WWF and the WWE, of course, down the line, how this was the WrestleMania that really put this whole franchise on the map, because this WrestleMania was on, I believe it was March 29th, 1987. Yes, that's correct. And the Pontiac Silverdome. Yes, Hulk. This is the Silverdome, not the Superdome as mentioned in WrestleMania 30 when that was in the Mercedes Superdome down in New Orleans, Louisiana. But this WrestleMania was big for because it had been advertised for months. It drew attendance. What people believe is still, the highest attendance. I keep saying WrestleMania 32 sold more than that in Dallas. But, some people say that may not be true at all. But this was the WrestleMania that put it on the map, the iconic moments, a couple really good matches, and the attendance was 93,173. One of the biggest, at the time, the biggest attendance record for any event, period, inside, indoors. Well, a dome, whatever. It was just an unbelievable experience. I enjoyed watching it from being a late bloomer fan, going back and watching a retro show back from the 80s. So I think so far I've had a good experience with this as well. And the show itself, I thought so far this one was definitely the matches, again, some of them were good, some of them were meh. But just the experience of watching this WrestleMania itself has been my favorite one so far to watch. So let's get right into reviewing this show. We start off with a decent opener. It was Can-Am Connection, a team of Rick Martel and Tom Zank versus Don Morocco and Cowboy Bob Orton with Mr. Fuji in his corner as well. The winner was Can-Am Connection. Most of the tag matches I keep saying that I've seen on these first WrestleManias have definitely been some of the biggest highlights. This match wasn't the match of the night, but it was a solid opener. Probably still not as good as the favorite opener I'd say I had was the opener to WrestleMania 1 with Tito Santana and the Executioner. So far, I know that's going to change down the line, especially when we get to like WrestleMania 30 at least, or whichever WrestleMania was that the Hart brothers fought each other. I hear that was a match that's like one of the best of the top for one of the best openers of WrestleMania. But this match was, all right. But again, I think my favorite opener match so far was definitely Tito Santana versus the Executioner at WrestleMania 1. But again, the winners Can-Am Connection, not too bad of an opener. We then had a match between Hercules, I think it was Hercules Hernandez last year, with Bobby the Brain Heenan in this corner, which we see him quite a lot back in the 80s, versus Billy Jack Haynes. And this match was pretty much the full Nelson challenge. That was these guys were feuding over who had the best full Nelson, who was the master of the full Nelson. And the match did end in a double countout, which, as I've been saying, I'm not a big fan of the double countouts at WrestleMania, but I still think the aftermath did play its purpose, as it did seem that Billy Jack Haynes was the one who got the win, as he got the comeuppance on I'm sorry, I keep losing track. Hercules Hernandez, when he put the full Nelson on him and got him to ease down from it, and so he pretty much was count the winner despite the fact being a double countout. But I thought this match played its purpose in the story, so again, I'm okay with this one being a double countout. We then had this really terrible six-man tag match, probably one of the worst matches I've seen so far in this series. I know which match might be the worst one. Well, a couple of them I have in mind when we get up higher into the 20s. But this match was a battle involving midgets. King Kong Bundy, Lord Littlebrook, and Little Tokyo versus Hillbilly Jim, the Haiti Kid, and Little Beaver. Now, I guess for what I saw, this match was being treated like a mixed tag match, like how there was like John this past WrestleMania was John Cena and Nikki Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. Nikki Bella couldn't wrestle at the same time as The Miz. WWE could pull that at times, but that did happen there. And this is the case too, where Hillbilly Jim and King Kong Bundy had to fight each other, but they couldn't fight any of the midgets. And it wasn't really that entertaining. It was a really quick match. But the match ended after King Kong Bundy got disqualified for slamming one of the midgets. Can't remember which one it was. So that was kind of a little bit of a pathetic finish. But he didn't do anything wrong. He broke the rule of you're not allowed to touch a midget. You can only wrestle, people your size in this match. But it was still weird. And then everybody pretty much teamed up on King Kong Bundy because they didn't appreciate, hey, you just offended this type of wrestling pretty much, as what it seemed. So again, worst match of the night, definitely by far. Nothing really to write home about at all. Nothing I'm going to remember. And then we had another decent match. It was decent. It wasn't amazing. I think pretty much it was kind of short. And I felt like it could have gone for a little bit longer than it did. But it was a match between King Harley Race with Bobby the Brain Heenan again. And also Fabulous Moolah in his corner, taking on Junkyard Dog. This match was happening because Harley Race had won King of the Ring, and of course he was really taking that power to his head, picking up victories and having his opponents just bow down to him afterwards. Well, then Junkyard Dog wanted to take a stand against it and protesting it, and then accept this match for either way. Whoever lost this match had to bow down to the winner. Well, Harley Race did win. It wasn't a clean victory. I can't remember what exactly happened, but it wasn't a clean victory. The match was alright, but afterwards, even though Race may have won the battle, Junkyard Dog won the wars. He was able to corner Bobby the Brain Heenan, get him out of the way, and take the robe and leave pretty much with it. So I mean, pretty much one of those things where you won the battle, lost the war, pretty much. So nothing really too spectacular about the match. It was decent for what it was. Felt like it was just a little too short. Could went on a little bit longer. But Junkyard Dog got his comeuppance at the end. We then had this average tag match. It was the Roju brothers taking on the dream team of Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine with Luscious Johnny and Dino Bravo in their corner. The winner was the dream team. Just like average tag match, nothing too special, but this was right before also where I believe Brutus Beefcake did turn face and become the Barber, and that's what took place in an aftermath. Well, not on this show, I believe, but it was in the aftermath of this show. From this next match, it was a hair versus hair match. It was Rowdy Roddy Piper taking on adorable Adrian Adonis. This match, well, it was weird because last year Adonis had a match against some weird farm-looking guy named Uncle Elmer, and that match was just so awkward and weird that it just didn't fit. But then Adonis actually looked pretty strong here against Piper. They were fighting because Piper had been on a hiatus for a while, and then while he was gone, Adonis made up his own show, The Flower Show, and then Piper came back and they pretty much just was when they started trying to destroy each other's shows. This was going to be Piper's final in-ring match for retiring, going to be an actor. He did come back, make a few appearances in WWE. He wasn't really wrestling anymore. I'm sorry, the WWF. Piper did win. The match is great, but I can't remember. I'm sorry, guys. I can't remember exactly. I can't remember if the haircutting took place here or if it took place, on a following episode of like Saturday Night Main Event or whatnot. So, Adonis did get his head shaved, and it was by Brutus Beefcake, the Barber. When he was first the Barber. And then we had this 6-man tag match for the WWF Tag Team Championships. It was a Hart Foundation and a referee, Danny Davis, with Jimmy Hart in their corner, taking on the British Bulldogs and Tito Santana. Now, why was this a 6-man tag match? It was because the Harts won the tag titles, and they were picked up victories thanks to Danny Davis being there's a quirky referee doing things in their favor. And Tito Santana also came to the six-man tag because Santana did also cost him the Intercontinental title in a match as well. I think that was the match before WrestleMania 2, before the 14-month title reign of Randy Savage, which we talk about him shortly as well. So the British Bulldogs and Santana wanted to get their revenge, and it was for the tag titles. It was a great tag match between the two. Again, the tag matches seemed to be impressing me the most, but the Hearts did come out on top as well, retain their tag titles. So good match. Again, I enjoyed it for what it was. And then we had kind of another boring and pointless match. It was Butch the Natural Reed with Slick taking on Birdman Coco Beware, who I heard apparently Coco Beware is a Hall of Famer. Again, it was boring and pointless. I didn't understand it. Didn't really care. Moving on to the match of the night, and it's definitely one of the classic WrestleMania matches of all time. It was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage, who Savage was on a 14-month reign as Intercontinental Championship. The match he had year before against George the Animal Steel. That was only the second month, but George the Animal Steel was looking around. He was in the corner of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat because they're best friends, and also because Steel, still had feelings for Miss Elizabeth as well, who was in Savage's corner. This feud started because Savage thought Steamboat was definitely a threat to his Intercontinental title. He attacked him, tried putting him out of action with the ring bell. And again, this is that time where wrestlers fans were still thinking that this is all real and not coordinated or whatnot. So they thought it was meant to book, which it succeeded in for real, thinking that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat would never wrestle again. He later did return. They had a few matches, and then this led to this match, WrestleMania 40 Intercontinental Championship. Just a classic. Two future Hall of Famers going out there, putting on a line, making that mid-card title feel very prestigious as well. And the match ended after Savage tried taking the bell again to severely hurting Steamboat again. But George Animal still interfered, hitting the ropes, causing a Savage to fall. And then Steamboat did eventually pick up the pin to become your new WWF Intercontinental Champion. It was a fun story being told, an excellent match. It's a classic, one of the best Intercontinental matches probably in WrestleMania history and of all time. I loved it. I'm sure you guys did as well, those of you who have seen it. We then had a match between Jake the Snake Roberts and the Honky Tonk Man with Jimmy Hart in his corner. Honky Tonk had been attacking Roberts with his guitar, and he actually hurt his neck, and this did lead to Roberts slowly turning face. And the match ended up being average. The Honky Tonk did win though with heel tactics of using the ropes. But afterwards, Roberts still got his comeuppance, his revenge on him by putting Damien on him as well as he would usually do. So this match was more about the Snake, of course, making his appearance, but you still Jake the Snake Roberts still a Hall of Famer. You still gotta give him credit that he is an excellent performer in the ring as well. So I still enjoy it, and I've enjoyed getting to know Jake the Snake Roberts as well doing this review series. Then we had another pointless match. It was the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov versus the Killer Beast. Short match. Sheik and Volkov won by DQ. After John Duggan attacked Iron Sheik, saying that hey, no one came here to hear the Soviet Union national anthem. Oh, Jack Duggan, the guy who won the first ever Royal Rumble, making a statement there, pretty much. So the match was pointless, but Jack got the crowd in pumped up again though from making that statement as well. And then finally we had one of the greatest moments in WrestleMania history. It was the WWF Championship match. Hulk Hogan taking on Andre the Giant. Hulk Hogan at 6'8", 290 pounds, taking on Andre the Giant at about 7'5", 525 pounds. Andre the Giant had been undefeated for 15 years. No one had ever beaten him. No one ever slammed him or anything. Nobody had come close to being Andre the Giant. And they made it the fact that wins and losses do matter. Road Dogg. So Andre was literally a legitimate threat. And this was during the time of Hulk Hogan had been World Wrestling Federation champion for 3 years now. And, Andre was starting to get a little sick of it. They were close friends, but he felt that, he had done all his hard work. He deserved a shot. And then Bobby the Brain Heenan became his manager after, getting into his head about this, causing Andre to eventually turn heel and won a match at WrestleMania with Hogan for the championship. The match itself, again, was not anything too special to write home about. It was a decent match. It told a good story, Hogan being, the big hero, looking like he was just getting taken out by a giant. And there was a moment in the match where, he was in this big bear hug from Andre the Giant. It looked like Hogan was going to pass out. And they were, I guess the rules, you have to move the arm up, 3 times, I believe, to know if he's been knocked out to call the match off. And I believe they did it twice to Hogan. They're about to do it the 3rd time, and when they raised his arm up, Hogan held his arm strong and then just, shaking. And he eventually was able to break the hold and, get some good offense in against Andre. And then the eventual big moment, one of the most iconic moments in WrestleMania history. This is a moment, too, that made WrestleMania, put the stakes of WrestleMania. Because when it comes to WrestleMania, you're looking for that one moment that you would only see at WrestleMania. And we got it right here with Hulk Hogan picking up the 525-pound giant, doing a slam before doing the leg drop to win the match and hand Andre the Giant his first ever loss in 15 years. It was an impressive win. It was just a great moment for the WrestleMania franchise and for the World Wrestling Federation as well. Great moment for Hulk Hogan as well. And it's definitely one of the most iconic moments in WrestleMania history, which really, makes this WrestleMania, despite most of the other matches were kind of there, most of them were still decent, just a couple of them were not really that great. This match and the attendance record and just what this WrestleMania did was definitely makes one more underrated WrestleMania, because people were focused on the match quality, but what this WrestleMania did, putting the World Wrestling Federation and WrestleMania on the map, caused it to get even more popular for years to come. So big a stage-setting moment for the World Wrestling Federation and for the sport of wrestling as well. So if I can give this grade, again, most of the matches were pretty decent, a couple stinkers, but with the Intercontinental title match, the attendance, the main event, the slam of Andre and such, I want to give this WrestleMania a B minus. That's my grade for WrestleMania 3, a B minus. What would you grade of WrestleMania 3? What are your thoughts on WrestleMania 3? If you haven't watched it yet, please check it out. That is it, guys. So please click that like and subscribe for more content to come on this channel. Again, this is probably the last video I'm going to be doing for this week, as I will not be available this weekend for videos. Again, if I have time after I finish my out-of-town gig, I may watch Hell in a Cell at my hotel room and review it there. But if not, I will definitely be back up here Monday to review Hell in a Cell and to review Monday Night Raw afterwards. And next week, I will get back on track with WrestleMania 4. And if you haven't checked out WrestleManias 1 or 2 yet in my reviews, make sure to check those out as well. And with that, guys, I'll see you all later. Make sure to also check me out on Twitter. You can follow me at TheManAirboy93. Link is all in the description down below. And with that, guys, I will see you all later.